Well, here I am in the car, so you know that it's Friday. Last Sunday, of course, was Mother's Day, and somebody in our neighborhood did a very nice thing. They put balloons on the mailboxes of all the mothers in the neighborhood. I thought it was very nice, and they knew who the mothers were and who they weren't. So it's somebody in this neighborhood. They didn't take credit for it, so to speak, but I thought it was a very nice thing to do. Now I've got a couple of special reports for you, and the first one, of course, is the Vero Beach Seafood Festival, which also took place last Sunday. Here you are. Well, they did a much better job at this year's seafood festival. They had actual seafood. I mean, they had at least a half a dozen booths with seafood in them. I think last year there were only two. But of course, they got everything else. The crowd is not crazy because, today is Mother's Day. I mean, maybe this afternoon I'm out here at, 11:30 in the morning. So maybe later in the afternoon this will get more crowded. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a much, much better job on this. Anyway, that's my report from the 2023 Vero Beach Seafood Festival. Well, as I pointed out, I think that it really is the case that they've done a much better job this year than they did previously. They've got more seafood. The problem is you got to walk through all this other kind of stuff until you get to the seafood. And quite frankly, I was not shooting enough video of the actual seafood, but they did a better job, and I'll be back next year, I'm sure. Now, I've got another very special report for you. Here you are. The other day, I was sitting out here by the pool, and I started thinking about the question, who was the bigger threat to the Federation of Planets? Was it the Klingons or the Romulans? And I decided not to jump into that debate, and instead what I figured I'd do is to share with you my top 10 TV shows of all time, because my top 10 movies got a lot of, stirred up a lot of interest. And what I did, what I always do, I got my yellow pad, I made a list of TV shows, and I came up with my top 10 list. And you may disagree with them, but here they are. In the number 10 hole, I put Star Trek. That's where the Romulans and the Klingons come from. But it's the original Star Trek, not the one with William Shatner and Dr. Spock and so on, not the later ones. I never watched them. In the number 9 hole, I put Saturday Night Live. And once again, it's not all of Saturday Night Live. It's the original. The one with John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, that one. In the number 8 hole, Game of Thrones. I quite frankly loved that show. At number 7, I've got Breaking Bad. I enjoyed that. I'm not sure it's really great, but it kept me through all 7 or 8 seasons, whatever it is. Number 6, I put The Americans. And that was really good. It's about a couple of undercover Russian spies in the United States while Reagan was president. I thought that show was really, really well done. Great show. Number 5, I've got to say, All in the Family. Very funny, enjoyed it, looked forward to seeing it on Sunday nights. Really good show. And number 4, this I'm going back in time a little bit. It was Your Show of Shows. That was on Saturday nights, and it was Sid Caesar's comedy show, and I still think it's one of the funniest shows ever. In the number 3 hole, I'm going to put Rome. That was an HBO show. It was 2 seasons long. I've watched the entire, both seasons a couple of times. I really, really liked them. In the number 2 hole, I'm going to say The Sopranos. The Sopranos was absolutely great. I mean, I thought the last season or 2, it was starting to get kind of goofy, but for the most part, that was an excellent, excellent show. And finally, my number 1 all-time great TV show was The Honeymooners. Only 1 season, 39 episodes. I think incredibly, incredibly funny. So that's my list. Here they all are arrayed for you so you can see what I'm talking about. And, I really filled up this yellow pad, and I came up with some runners-up. I'm not going to talk about them individually, but they're the ones that, they're from all over the place, and I really kind of like them. I just couldn't quite put them into the top 10 list. So anyway, that's my list. There are a lot of shows that I never watched that I know are very, very popular. Seinfeld, Friends, Grey's Anatomy, all that kind of stuff. I, quite frankly, never, ever watched them. So anyway, that's my list of the top 10. And I would absolutely welcome your comments, your views, and you can use the comment section under this video to say what you think, or you can send me an email. Here's my email address. Anyway, that's this report, my top 10 TV shows. Well, I'd like to know what you think, and once again, use the comments section under this video, or send me an email, or whatever you prefer to do. I'd welcome hearing your views, and I'm sure that all the other recap fans would feel the same way. They'd like to hear what you've got to say. That's my report for this week. We'll see what's going on next week, but be sure to check back in. See you then.